Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our program Words of Wellness. My name is Yassir Al-Manawi. I'm a clinical therapist, and today we're going to be talking about something good. We're going to be talking about pride. We're going to be talking about individuality. That's in psychological terms. We're also going to be talking about being distinct. Being distinct is what? What does that mean? Being an individual, respecting yourself as a human being. This issue is very, very, very important in today's world. Why? Because you have a lot of pressures we always talk about peer pressures. What is peer pressures? Peer pressures is when a teenager or a child, my child, your child, any child, doesn't feel doesn't feel his individuality. If someone doesn't feel individuality, he will be able to easily lead, as we say. Anybody could lead him. Anybody could get him to do what they want him to do. So I know for a fact that a lot of parents teach their children to be individuals. A lot of parents teach their children to be leaders as opposed to being followers. So I'm going to read to you a hadith, and then we're going to talk about it. This hadith actually from Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, who said that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I have been sent before the hour so that Allah alone should be worshipped without any partner for him, and my provision has been placed beneath the shade of my spear, and subservience and humiliation have been placed upon those who disobey my orders, and whoever imitates a people, then he is one of them. What does that mean? It's a very strong hadith, and a lot of times if I read it, it could be easily misunderstood. But actually what I take out from it is that we have to have pride in ourselves. We have to have pride in our teachings. No matter what teaching it is, no matter who you are, or where you're from, you have to be proud of your individuality. We have actually a problem with today's youth, is that they are not, they don't feel that they have pride enough in themselves. They always want to be like the other person. They always want to imitate the other people. And what we try to teach them in treatment is that you're individual from the time of your birth until the time of your death. You are an individual in everything you do. You are an individual in the way you look, in the way you act. So you need to do it like that. What we're going to explore now is, how do I teach somebody to be an individual? I take him from a psychological point of view to a spiritual point of view, and it's a journey. It's a journey that they actually understand. It's a journey that they might like in a process from going from point A to point B. I take him from the time of birth. We start talking. What we do in this issue is that we start talking about cognitive behavior modification. I talk to them cognitively and I appeal to their intelligence, because everything is actually give and take. It's a discussion. If we talk to somebody, like if I don't feel that I am individual and I have pride in all my teachings, then I will be lost in this society or in any society. What we need to do is that we take somebody from the time of birth. And how do we do that? We go with them step by step, where they have been and where they are going to. What did they do? What are their teaching? All the positive aspects they've done in their lives, all the positive deeds they have done in their lives. everything that's positive they did, all the actions and the projects they have completed. We reconstruct this whole history with them. And that's what we need to do. If you feel you have a problem in this issue, you need to take a look at your history. Not only what you did, but what you've been taught by your parents and your grandparents, by your society, by your religion, by everything else, by your spirituality. And then you write it in a piece of paper. After you write it in a piece of paper, what do? You look at it. Look at the accomplishments you have done in your life. Look at everything you've done. You can't just convince me or tell me that everything I've done is negative. That's impossible. There is not one human being that is negative. Everything is negative. That's not possible. There is something positive all the time. Even in the negative issues that you could perceive it as negative, still is positive. You can take a look at it as negative, but think about it for a minute after you write it down and come up with something that's positive out of it. I can give you an example for that. Somebody who might think that they failed in a test and an exam. That's a very negative issue for all of us, for anybody, especially for parents who have children. They say, well, my child, actually, he failed his test. Well, there is something positive. You can think about it, but because of the program that we have, I'm going to tell you what it is. The positive that come out of failing is that if you don't go through failing, what's going to happen? You're not going to know it. You have to know what failure is in order for you to succeed. And the failure is not failing the exam. The failure is actually when you do not succeed and you fail one time and then you fail the second time and the third time and the fourth time. That's failing, meaning that you don't want to change. But if somebody really taking a look at it in a psychological way, I tell them, well, everybody falls, but you have to stand up. You can't fall all the time. You have to stand up. And that's what makes a man a man. You have to be proud of your heritage, no matter what it is. A lot of people don't like their heritage. A lot of people feel ashamed of their heritage or of their society or of their... sometimes they're afraid to talk about their belief system. Sometimes they're afraid about a lot of things. What you need to do is that you need to be proud of all of that, because that's who you are. That's what you are. So act freely, as long as you are not hurting yourself or anybody else. You need to hold on to your belief system and do not be ashamed of it. And always remember that you're a human being. All human beings are equals. There is nobody better than you, and you are no better than anybody else except with your good deeds and good actions. And how do you get to that? By your belief system. Hold on to your belief system, no matter what it is, no matter what kind of spirituality you have to do it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next episode.